John Schultz, John Trapper Schultz, come to the front. He's just going to do a little bit of a welcome thing here. Then we're gonna have the Hmong veterans speak, and we're talking about some other stuff here before we break.
Thank you. Being a good Army NCO, I've got my coffee with me. I'm going to use my NCO voice because I really don't like to use microphones. If I hold a microphone, I can't use my hands. And my mother says I must be part Italian along the line because, you know, you got to do it, you know. My name is John Schultz. Yes, I am a veteran. I served 25 months in the Central Highlands of Vietnam, a little place called An Khê. I had an opportunity to serve with the 5th Special Forces during that 25 months. I got to Vietnam, and I got to the unit, and I got to the other comrades that I was working with. What a change of lifestyle. What a change of life. While I was there, I turned 21. While I was there, I think I lived the life, well, I was 22, 23, 24, 25. Even though I was only there for 2 years, you know, those of us that are there, we grew up. We changed. And when we came back home, we weren't the same ones that went over. Even if we were only there for a year, we grew up and we matured and we lived a life where we came back mature and older, at least 4 years older. Because life changed us. And it doesn't make any difference if I'm talking to the comrades that served in Vietnam, but the other comrades that supported us and may have served in Germany and supported us. Because without them, we wouldn't have been able to do what we did. And they saw a lot of the damage and the aftermath of what we went through. You know, we had, and I'm joking, no, I'm not joking, but yeah, I do have 4 Purple Hearts. But think about how many hospital people in Germany, Korea, and stateside that saw the aftermath of the body injury and all the other things that happened to the veterans who served in Vietnam. They had their own set of trauma. And we've got to stop and recognize and thank them as well. I look at our Laotian brothers over here, and I thank you. You know, I'm going to say this, and I mean this with respect, please. Within the United States, and in and around the area, our Hmong are put down because they're different. They're a little shorter. Their eyes are a little different. Their skin is a little different. But I'll tell you what, think back to when our grandfathers and the Italians were coming over and when the Germans came over and they got integrated. And with these Laos over here right now, I would not be here today. I would not be alive today if it wasn't for what your ancestors and brethren did for us. And I thank you for what you did for us. You know, there's a, now I'm going to talk, remember when we were in Vietnam? There's a certain sounds that we will never forget. Where's Colonel Al Korkendorfer? Oh, he is still there. It got so quiet back there I thought he left. We had an opportunity to be part of the legislative conference in Washington, D.C. 2 weeks ago. And there were 9, 10 of us from the state of Wisconsin that went to Washington, D.C. as part of the national legislative conference held in Washington, D.C. And it was an awesome tribute to represent the veterans of Wisconsin, and to be able to go into Speaker of the House Ryan's office and sit down with him and actually have a one-to-one talk. And he opened up and accepted us just like any of us would accept the brother sitting next to him. And he stopped and he says, wait a minute, I got to take a break for a second. I got to put another log on the fire. And he actually opened up his wood-burning fireplace in his office in that building and put another log on the fireplace. And then he says, well, by the way, it is Wisconsin firewood. But don't tell anybody it's illegal. But when Al and I were walking across the street, we heard this sound, that whoop, 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 whoop. You know what I'm talking about. Al back there had an opportunity to, Al, you spent a couple of years in one of those Hueys, didn't you? About 25 months. But the sound of that Huey, that helicopter, is a sound that no other flying machine will make. Al starts saying, well, wait a minute, I think that's a UHA-15 Demonton 93. Well, what? To me, it was a Huey. But as we went through the Vietnam era, the sounds that we recognize, the sounds of a mess kit hanging by its little handle with the knife, fork, and spoon on it, walking up to the side of that jerry can, and that sound of the mess kit kind of banging on the side, going over to the immersion tank and dipping it in there a little bit, trying to get it clean. Take it, get it clean, dry it off a little bit. Take that knife, fork, and spoon and put it inside a pair of socks and put that inside your mess kit. Why? First off, you always had a pair of dry socks, and number two, it keeps the knife, fork, and spoon from banging. But remember the sounds of the mess kit? Remember the sound? Remember the smell of the gentlemen? Those people who cleaned the latrines? Oh, yeah. That was a shitty detail. Just a couple more things. This POW flags. If we back up about 4 or 5 years ago, the POW flag was always on the other side. About 4 or 5 years ago, our flag code changed, and the POW flag is to be carried and placed next honor to our national color, this beautiful red, white, and blue symbol. The same time that flag code changed, there was another recognition to this by our Congress. All veterans, when presenting to the national color, whether it passed in front, if it happened to be during a patriotic song, or posting, we do not put our hand over our heart anymore. All veterans, indoor or out, covered or not, will render a hand salute. Why? So the people standing next to you can recognize you as a proud veteran of this United States. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Senator.
I'd like to invite the president of the Wisconsin Lao Veterans of America, Sao Zong, I think it is, up here. He's going to give us a little perspective on their angle for things here today, so welcome him here. And he's been here for a long time. Every year he's coming here, so come on back here.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and honored guests. Today is a very special day for our Vietnam veteran, brother and sister who honor sacrifice great effort and welcome home. I am Captain Schultz, a Wisconsin Lao veteran of American Incorporation President. I appreciate to bring in my group, the Hmong Lao veteran, who fought side by side with the American CIA Special Force Secret War in Laos during the Vietnam War to join this ceremony. It is very important for all veterans to know each other and what we did in the Vietnam War before. I want to share my brief story or the veterans understand why the Hmong and Laos came to the United States. Because during the Vietnam War, the communists spread around in Southeast Asia. During 1960, President John F. Kennedy invited our Royal Lao King Chausisawatana and Prime Minister Chau Suvarnabhuma came to the United States asked for help. Because the Laos country is neutral, the United States can send the troops to Laos. But finally, the King and the Prime Minister give permission to President John F. Kennedy send an American CIA and GS Assistant Colonel James Bell came to meet our General Wang Pao, the commander of Royal Laos Army Force, the Special Guerrilla Units in Military 2. He asked for help. After that, our leader, General Wang Pao, was recruited among Laos people, became a soldier during the conversation. But Colonel Bellez gave formation to our leader, General Wang Pao. The mission are: 1. In defense of our country for democracy and freedom. 2. Is to guard the United States radar system that was installation and conduct on property Site 85. 3. Rescue U.S. pilot who was shot down behind enemy lines. 4. Block the Ho Chi Minh Trail that leads from North Vietnam to South Vietnam that close to Laos. That meant that we lost 35,000 people, including my father, brother, cousin, and many friends. After May 14, 1975, the war was over. The communists protect Laos took over control Laos. They didn't follow up in the agreement that side under 18 points for peace between Paris 1954 and Vientiane, Laos on 1973. And communist governments catch our King Chausisawatana and his family and thousands leaders and soldiers put in jail northern Laos. Vientiane side provided. We don't have information until today. That make Hmong Laos who joined the United States CIA make an exile out of country for safety and become a refugee political. Resettle in Thailand and the United States of America today. Today we are standing here and proud to tell you and that we served as the soldiers during the and United States CIA and Secret War fight alongside the United States, and then we be good relationships to the veteran organization. The Wisconsin Veteran of American serve for in the veteran family health and funeral home service and holiday celebration. By auto got team hunting education and keep our veteran memory day for our children in the future. And I need your help because now state and federal state, we are not qualified in the United States flags to cover in the casket honor the veteran who passed away during the ceremony. And because we don't have the discharge DD 214, and now how can we get the DD 214 and veteran benefits? We will continue to ask the government. We need your support. And finally, so I would like to thank you in this opportunity to thank you for the United States government branches of Hmong and Laos people come to settlement in this country. We have a good opportunity to set our new life to become a good American citizen. And our children have a good education opportunity. I hope that we, the veterans, will try together, sit together, stand together, make a good role model for the community and our children in the future. And little while here, we are the same veteran. So we need you help or talk to the state, Wisconsin and other state and the federal. Now so we got a problem like a flag, like last year I told you, and this year the same thing. This year in May 14, May 14, so we will move the celebration to the state of Wisconsin to talk to the state of Wisconsin governor and legislator and capital. How can we provide or how can we qualify for DD 214? And then that's we need your support. And thank you for everybody here today in service in the Vietnam War and us in the Secret War in Laos during the Vietnam War. God bless America. Thank you.
Listen up! We've just found out a few years ago that because of the Hmong, because of the Laotian warriors, because they interrupted the Ho Chi Minh Trail and protected that airbase in northern Laos, B-52s could not have flown during the Vietnam War. They have perhaps saved, some of the estimates are over 10,000 lives of American, Canadian, Australian, and South Korean veterans. Some of them, those lives might be ours sitting right here. We deserve a standing ovation, not only for Captain John, but for John Schultz. You better get on your feet and stand and give them a proper thank you. There.
Thank you. Thank you.
They were wounded and a lot of times stood out in front of us and broke the trails for us to follow. They endured as many hardships and casualties as we did. They are not considered a veteran. When they have passed, those that served alongside us in Vietnam were not able to get an American flag for their casket. I told that young man up there, it won't happen again. Get in touch with me. and we were able to make it work.
I think some of the veterans groups have been offering U.S. flags for them if they let us know what's going on there.
Exactly. And the most recent flag that I was able to give him had a certificate in the flag case that had flown over the national capitol. It was authenticated by Speaker of the House, Ryan. And that went to them and the family. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Were shot down 4 different times, and those of us that survived each time perhaps 100 miles from another U.S. personnel, we were picked up by the Hmong people organized into the Aircrew Rescue Battalion. I will tell you, this nation in our 243-year history has never had a finer ally, nor anyone in the face of this earth has a greater right to be an American citizen than our Hmong allies. Thank you.
I want to thank our Lao veterans, and I want to thank the Hmong community, and I want to thank those of you who served with us, the American forces in Vietnam. If it hadn't been for you, I would not be alive today. One of the big things that is not happening for our Lao veterans is they are not being recognized as American veterans, even though they worked for us and with us. It is my honor to go about and do what I can to get the internment flags, the casket flags, to make sure those veterans get the recognition that they deserve. It will be for the rest of my life to keep working to make sure you get recognized and your organization gets recognized the same as we are. Your blood is just as red as ours. And we would not be here if it wasn't for you. And I heartfelt thank everybody here. Thank you. Thank you, Commander.
Yeah, thank you.
I appreciate it.
Okay, I need you stand here. Nhớ rằng lúc nào giờ lúc bé liền tu,วันที่หนึ่งก็เปล่าช่างเสียเก่าอีอันนู้นสารเลยไปตัวกองเจ้าพงศ์เวียดนามเวทรันจะจ้องลินแต่นาไปที่ตัวต่อไปส่งแล้วlúc này nó chỉnh chỉnh rồi lại thế cho ăn nó tận thế là bé một cọng thế chỉ ta lên đó xong nó bé mua và bé khó mẹ cổ plau nó nhai một chỗ stay là ta cũng thản tới nó chỉ vì bé chuẩn tàu giả quả tu chi lo thế vì EU nó quả thì giờ nó bé chỉ muốn nhai một hồi cho governor lấy là phần nó sẽ bé là thế thì lúc nào bé tua nó bé thế ask for cho và cô tu cho Việt Nam veteran American Legion chữ chân spray cho Việt Nam veteran thầu lấy nhân tôi cho bé họ ba là ba bé tôi thấy chờ nó họ nói họ chỉnh chỉnh tháo chơi dùng cái cái này cho thế bé cho cũng tôi xua phải cho được tôi một cọng bé cho lu mẹ cổ plau nu màn để xong sẽ có gì nó nhau trong đó sẽ capital yo pi cho mong sa có ao mong đã cho nó chứ governor là yo là hai lục tí dạng có li nu nó bé tua nó cho Việt Nam rất là nó dùng xe thế qua cái tin cho sẽ là cho chứ sinh ra bây giờ bé ý chọn của tôi cho bao nhiêu chỉ năng sẽ là chọn đến tàu và sẽ là ba lúc tới lúc chờ một trăm một trăm ba lúc tới lúc chờ là và sẽ là cho thank you John I hope that you will continue to support us in the future.
And please say hi and thank you to your families as well.
Okay,
we
thank
need
you.
their support too.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you.
I like your tie.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, so my organization.
Would you please?
Yeah, put it here. Yeah, there's a thank you for your support our organization, and thank you for all the Vietnam veterans support us, and especially you support us many years ago.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
What's your name?